Night falls, the water surface is as calm as a mirror, and also a stage for silent assassins. This is a fish-eating species, not a fruit-eating species, and certainly not Batman. They use ultrasound to locate their prey, like a biological version of military radar. When they see a fish floating to breathe, the fish immediately dives down, its claws digging into the fresh water more than a fishing hook. A neat bite, not a drop of water splashed, a true ninja in disguise. The fish can also adjust its altitude by changing its wing beats. It sounds simple, but is more complicated than flying a small plane. They can eat dozens of fish every night, so you see that no one in nature sleeps on an empty stomach. Don't let their cute appearance fool you, because inside each fish is a super biological sensor. They play a role in maintaining ecological balance, reducing the number of sick and weak fish. Running wild, chasing a mouse like playing a survival version of Tom and Jerry. The chase is as tense as a string. The mouse struggles, the monkey chases. Everyone believes they will win, but no one notices. A mouth as big as a village well is waiting below. Plop! A lightning-fast bite from Pac-Man Frog, the one who doesn't say anything but always ends the game. The mouse hasn't had time to scream. The monkey hasn't had time to stop. Both of them suddenly become an instant combo for the frog. The scene makes everyone shocked. The predator has just paid for his karma right there. This story teaches us one thing. When concentrating on fighting, be careful of a third person opening his mouth. Pac-Man Frog is a master of ambush. No need to run, just wait and open his mouth wide. This species has no teeth, but whatever it bites sticks, thanks to the strong suction like a vacuum cleaner. Nature is very fair. Whoever is careless gets in the pot. On the beach at sunset, a group of crabs crawled across like shirtless strollers. They lifted their claws to show off their muscles, walking sideways with style, as if they were performing a crustacean fashion show. Crabs are not only strong, but also clean. They clean up beach trash, eat carrion, and bira cakes are their favorite. Don't laugh, bira cakes are nature's way of organic recycling. Crabs are unpaid, but extremely effective cleaners. They keep the beach odor-free and the sand loose, true to the beautiful, good-doing standard. But don't think crabs are gentle. Their claws can snap an ice cream stick. They can fight, compete for mates, compete for territory. Very ordinary. However, that afternoon when the sun went down, the waves lapped. Something was different. A pair of round, big, and greedy eyes were lurking under the seaweed. Who would have thought that romantic afternoon would be the first chapter of a strangling disaster? The crab was enjoying the party and showing off its muscles when, boom, a frog flew out of nowhere like a big-bellied ninja. Even though it was crawling sideways, the crab still couldn't escape the lightning-fast bite of that toilet lid-like mouth. The crab's claws popped up. The frog was too fast. The bite only had time to shake the entire claw one last time. The frog's bite was so strong that it could swallow prey slightly larger than itself without chewing. The crab was swallowed whole like a candy. No one believed that the round, lazy thing was a real killer. Actually, Pac-Man frogs are just lazy to move, not lazy to eat. They are the type of creatures that sit still all day, but eat a meal and it's a feast. The crab was strong, but lost because it didn't expect the killer to be right under its nose. Nature doesn't need much action. Just the right time, the right place is enough to win. And so the sunset party ended with a swallow without chewing by Big Frog. At noon, the sun was so hot that a group of snakes wriggled on the rocks as if they were performing a wild catwalk. They showed off their shiny scales and graceful bodies as if they were competing for the Miss Reptile 2025 award. Snakes sunbathe not to show off their figure, but to absorb heat and digest food faster. However, snakes also know how to show off. They like to compare who is longer, who is more flexible. In fact, most snakes do not live a virtual life like that. They just gather to conveniently choose a mate. However, while they are busy showing off their figure, they forget that the sun also reveals their location to predators. In the nearby bushes, a round mouth like a manhole cover is gradually opening. Any beautiful snake will eventually become an appetizer if they are not vigilant. Once again, the natural lesson resounds. Whoever is slow for a second loses a life. It is okay to be beautiful. Don't forget, a beautiful person also needs to know how to look before and after. A hungry snake slithers along, its eyes glowing, a sign of an elite predator. With its speed and venom, it can take down lizards, mice, and even baby birds in the blink of an eye. But today, it encounters a creature that seems stupid but turns out to be dangerous: the Pac-Man frog. The frog doesn't run, doesn't jump, just sits like a living rock, and that's the trap. When the snake approaches to attack, the frog springs up like a camouflaged spring, and snap, a sound. The round mouth grabs the snake like sucking noodles, except this time the noodles are wriggled to bite. The snake struggles, but it's too late. Just a moment's carelessness is enough to lose. In nature, the strong don't necessarily win, but the one who calculates carefully and waits for the right time is the king. The packed frog has no venom, no fangs, only patience and a wide mouth. It's true that the mouth can harm the body, but sometimes it can also save lunch. Loaches swim in the clear blue water like contemporary dancers. They wriggle and turn smoothly as if they have GPS in their heads. Loaches are also known as underwater ninjas because of their extremely flexible ability to wriggle. Not only are they fast, their bodies also secrete mucus to make them slippery like balm. They can come up to the surface to breathe, not only with their gills, but also with their skin and intestines. That helps them survive in temporary dry conditions, a true legendary longevity standard. Today, the loaches are dancing in the water as if they were filming a mineral water commercial. But hidden in the seaweed, a pair of eyes and a mouth are constantly watching. Despite its nickname, Lightning Underwater, the loach today met a formidable opponent. Pac-Man frog is not a good swimmer, not fast, but has more important things, patience and a big mouth. When the loach swam past for the third time, the frog had calculated the angle and suction force precisely. The mouth opened, sucking in like a large vacuum cleaner. The loach did not have time to turn its head. The loach's agility became meaningless when its opponent was a light-speed biter. The loach struggled hard, but the slime that helped it swim now made it difficult to escape the frog's throat. It was natural. Anyone who was careless, even for 0.1 seconds, would become dinner. Lesson. Speed is an advantage, but don't forget to be vigilant and change tactics. Although the frog is slow, when attacking, it always uses the right person, the right time, the right bite. And so, a beautiful escape turned into the main course in a frog's stomach. The giant spider hid behind the stone slab, its 8 legs positioned perfectly, as if it were playing a deadly game of Go. It spun a web in its head, without the need for a real web, for this was a spider that hunted without webs. Its reflexes were so fast that it could catch its prey in a split second. The spider charged forward, confident that a stormy attack would finish off its opponent. The attack was countered by the spider. This time, it was sashimi without thorns. Nature always has surprises. Those who think they are assassins are sometimes just appetizers. title of eight-legged killer is now a thing of the past when the spider is swallowed whole by the hungry frog. Although it looks fierce, the spider misjudges its enemy, a fatal mistake. Frogs do not need poison, do not need silk, just wait for the right moment and snap their bodies like springs. The frog's bite is painless, but the end is incredibly quick and clean. Before the spider can make a move, it has already disappeared into the darkness of the frog's internal organs. Overconfidence is what traps many predators. Natural education teaches, do not underestimate those who sit still and do not move. Frogs may look like forgotten dumplings, but try to get close. That is why the quietest person is sometimes the scariest. In the forest, every meal is a lesson, and those who learn slowly will end up in someone else's stomach. Place in a clearing in the middle of the forest. Pac-Man frog, black scorpion, and long-tailed lizard. Three creatures, three styles. One is tough, one is poisonous, and one is fast as the wind. The scorpion raises its claws, threatening. The lizard puffs up its body, running around. And the frog stays still. It seems that the frog is doing nothing, but it is measuring the distance and calculating the wind direction. The scorpion attacks first, but misses. Its claw hits. The afternoon wind. The lizard takes the opportunity to bite quickly, but misses because it is stuck in the sand. The frog, still patient, waits for both to tire, then takes a bite to take down each one. Nature does not prioritize strength or speed, but strategy and timing. The battle ends with the frog's belly full. The martial arts convention has only one winner. A great lesson. The quiet one is sometimes the one who speaks last, with a bird.